I ended up getting rid of those ESRs that Connor sold me. I bought a set of work Euro lines off Connor.
I remember that.
So
I remember that Connor always got new wheels from his Stance boys, and then you'd buy them off him because he wanted a new set of wheels. And Connor's actually selling his set of wheels that I went to go pick up in Ohio with him. He's now trying to sell those to get something else. All right. Welcome to the WhyCars podcast. I'm here with Alex. And basically this podcast is going to be about, why Alex chose his car, and just asking him a bunch of questions about his Focus and all that. But before we get to that, I got to talk about a couple sponsors that we have. Our first sponsor is Paintegrity. They were nice enough to let us use their shop. And actually, they wanted to give you guys a couple things. So, and that's for you whenever you want it. And of course, we got the drink koozies from them. But if you need your house painted exterior or interior, go to paintegrityllc.com. They'll take care of you. Another sponsor we have is Extreme Graphics. If you need your car wrapped or any CNC work, they don't pay me to say this, but they're a great company, and I love them all. Steve, Colin, they're great guys. But anyways, back to Alex. So my guest today is Alex Hammond, or That Stock Focus on Instagram. And Alex, tell us a little bit about your 2016 Ford Focus Titanium. Everyone thinks it's an ST or thinks it's an RS, but obviously it's not.
It is not a RS or a ST. It is a base model Ford Focus, slow. It's automatic, and NA, it's slow, but for some reason I like that car. I don't really care too much about speed or anything. I mean, I wish it was manual, but I mean, it's a fun car. I mean, I'd rather mess around with it, screw some stuff up with it, try new things with it, than go fast. So
yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of it. It was my first car. I mean, just learned everything I know off of it. Met a lot of cool people with it. When COVID hit, I was like, all right, let's go balls to the wall with this thing and just send it, do whatever I feel like doing with it. Some people hate it, some people love it. I don't know how I feel about it half the time, but it's a fun car.
Yeah, you definitely can't please everyone in the car community. But so it started off white, right?
Yes.
Like, what was your first iteration of the car? Like your first kind of,
man,
your V1, as most people would say.
So I remember got the car, knew I wanted. I was iffy on it at first. I knew I didn't want it fully just bone stock. It looked like a chick's car. I went on Marketplace, bought a set of like discount tire brand aftermarket wheels, black. Put those on there. Got a RS spoiler, spray painted it black, and
as we all do with our Focuses.
Picked up a sheet of ABS plastic. Took my grandpa's jigsaw out, cut up some side skirts, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I remember I took it like downtown Chicago, taking pictures of it. Just it is like in high school, all you and your homies just cruising around, just thinking of the most badass car in the world. And I was happy with it, even though I didn't like my own car, but I was like, at least it doesn't look like anything else really on the road. At least it's slightly different.
So, yeah, as long as it's unique and you like it.
Yeah, I mean that's the first iteration was just wheels, a spoiler, and some ABS plastic side skirts I cut up in my garage, and I thought that was it. Some like eBay rain guards and stuff like that.
Yeah, didn't you had that like those black stickers? I forget what it was.
Yes, yeah. So after that, I mean, I was content with that. I drove it around like that for a few months. I lost a good friend of mine to suicide. Hit up a good friend of mine, Tyler. I was like, hey man, like, I want you to design. He wraps cars. He worked at a wrap shop. I was like, design me something. I was like, let me know how much it would be. I don't really care. I want this done. I was like, this is what I want to do on my car. So it was like, gave him a few ideas. He was like, all right. And then I remember I didn't talk to him for like a day. He kind of ignored me. Like a day went by. He was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to do something to kind of like drive down the road. I mean, you see it, it's a positive message. I mean, the littlest things, like you pick up certain stuff throughout the day and you remember it. Stupid little things. I was like, I could drive down the road. Someone could be having a bad day. I mean, they could be contemplating suicide. They could see that. It'd be like a little reminder.
Yeah,
Hey, I mean,
absolutely.
this guy riding down the road, I have no idea who he is. That little bit changed my mood for the day. So I told him, I was like, I just want something. I was like, of course, I wanted to honor, remember my friend. I mean, this is a guy. He helped me fix my exhaust when my exhaust broke. He I didn't even know him. I was in a group chat with him when I met him. He was like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. I mean, I'm 16 years old. Don't come from a car family. No one I knew was really into cars. I'm in a group chat with this guy. Oh man, you live like 20 minutes from me, right? Bring it by my house. We'll throw it on the lift. I'll take a look at it for you. So I go there. It was the most awkward experience when I first met him. Uh, we got there, or I got there. We didn't really talk too much. He kind of did the work. I kind of just watched him, kind of figuring out some stuff. I drove home. I texted him. I got home. I was like, I might not have sounded like appreciative or talked to you too much, but I was like, I really appreciate what you did for me. You taught me something. You did something for me. You didn't ask for anything in return, and I felt bad. And he was like, no, I like doing this. I like working on cars. You gave me something to do that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Ever since then, that day, oh man, he was a few years older than me. I mean, we would cruise to car meets together. We'd go hang out together. He helped me. After that, he helped me do my lowering springs, and ended up being a 2-day process. He taught me how to drive stick. He was like, I don't think I'll be able to finish your lowering springs. Take my truck that I just bought 2 days ago that I just drove home from Mississippi with. It's manual. You know how to drive manual? No, bro, I never drove manual before. All right, I'll teach you. Take my truck. I was like, dude, you got that truck like 2 days ago. I'm not going to take your truck.
Wow.
And he's like, I'll teach you how to drive manual. He ended up just driving me home, and he pulled up to my work the next morning with his dad, dropped off my car to my work, and then till that day we were good friends. So when I lost him, it was like, this is my car. He taught me how to work on my car the first time. He always offered to help me. He asked me to come hang out at his garage while he's working on cars. He introduced me to a lot of the stuff that now I love, and wouldn't I probably would still be in the situation, but I think that he was the one that first introduced me to it. So I did this crazy rap design with Tyler. He was like, yeah, come over, and it was black heart, or the whole thing was black, and it was broken hearts in the front of the car, and it kind of flowed up to the back of the car into full hearts to symbolize that a broken heart can be healed.
Yeah.
And you let go, and it helps. Just it gets better. And then it said everything will be okay on the side. So that was when people started looking at my car. But I never realized it, but I drove down the road. I was like, I'm in the coolest car. That I did that, and people were like looking at my car. I had attention, and that's what really started changing it.
Absolutely. I remember seeing that on Instagram and everything. And I thought it was, really cool, great message. I never knew the story behind it, but it
Dude,
definitely
people hated it too who didn't know the
Really?
message. Oh, people who didn't know the message. I was on like Drew Peacock like type video. Like, oh, like the sad boy, this, and this. If anyone knows me, I'm the happiest person ever.
definitely the
I
happiest person.
I'm always have a smile on my face. I'm always happy.
Alex
people
is
are, "Oh, this
definitely
sad
the
boy."
happiest guy I know. Throughout, if you look at all my vlogs, Alex is, joking around, having fun, and like, I don't know, I never knew the story behind your car, but I definitely, it's definitely, every time I looked at it, I definitely got, excited. I know a bunch of people that it helped.
It was different. I mean, people you wouldn't really expect it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, like, after that, what kind of, you had your car, you had lowering springs, you had, some aftermarket wheels. They weren't the best aftermarket wheels, of course. And you had this amazing, livery, that was obviously helping people. But what kind of changed it to where, like, you wanted to step that up? You wanted to just, change the whole car and kind of stand out even more than you already have in the past.
I think it was a blessing in disguise. I was at Tuner Evo Chicago. It was my third year going. I had my car there in the parking lot. I drove up there just to observe the show, and I was driving home from Tuner Evo, and I was cruising with my buddy Zach and his Camaro, and we were on the on ramp going home. I hit this huge pothole on the on ramp. Hit this bomb, shot up in the air, landed on gravel, slid right in the side of the guardrail. I got out of the car. I had my friend Jordan with me, and Zach was right in front of me. So they both got out of the car. They're like, Alex is about to be pissed. He's like, he just crashed his car. I mean, it's all beat up. I got out of the car. I'm laughing. They got out of the car. They're like, why are you laughing? I'm like, you see that dent on the quarter panel and the front fender and the wheels? That's all that's messed up. They're like, yeah, I mean, your car's messed up. Why are you laughing? Why are you happy? Oh, this excuse for me to wide body my car and get new wheels. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, by the time I got home, I had a wide body kit ordered. Towed the car home. The alignment was just destroyed. I was like, all right, just wheels were fine. Spray painted them white. Just waited a few weeks for the wide body to come in. Took an angle grinder, cut off every little dent that was on that car from that. So that's when that's when that happened. Then shortly after COVID started. And then, I was like, I just saw these cars at Tuner Evo. They're all like wide body cars. I was like, my car can't get any better than this.
Yeah.
It's a Ford Focus. Like, it's better than most of the Ford Focuses on the road. So I was like, all right, I'm done. And then COVID hit. I was like, all right, now I'm actually going to do what I want to do. So that's when it all kind of came into effect.
I think COVID for the car community was kind of a blessing in
100%.
disguise for
100%.
everyone, because everyone was kind of losing their jobs. But with that whole stimulus check and the unemployment being like almost double, everyone was coming up with all this money and just putting it straight towards their cars. And I think that's what kind of turned the car community from, all these, amazing builds where people with high income could, build,
Yep.
like, to now everyone could kind of,
So for me, the outside view, I was actually the complete opposite. I went to alternative high school. I got released from alternative high school. COVID hit. Ended up getting a new job, the job I'm still at today. I've worked ever since then.
That upholstery job, right?
Yes. So I've been working through COVID the entire time. But I mean, I saw a lot of people get in cars because they had spare time. Which, I mean, I think it's cool. I see the TikTok. It's like, oh, like, it's overdone now. Like, blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing, but I mean, as time comes, it's going to filter out the people who are in it and the people who are like, all right, this was just a trend.
I definitely agree.
So I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. It was a nice gateway for the people who are into it. It was also a nice gateway for the people who were unsure about it, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. But
yeah, I mean, now that COVID's been done for a couple of years now, I think the trend for car community is kind of, gone down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And, we're starting to see the people that were using it as a trend are starting to get weeded out. But people that, saw COVID or, went into COVID non-car person and came out a car person,
yep.
They found that passion, and they're still,
yes,
they're still doing that car thing, and they're still building their car the way that they want. A lot of people, everyone's going to get hated on, no matter what car you have, no matter what, platform, what you do to it, you're always going to get hate. I mean, I get hate for Madeline. I get hate for every car that I've done. But there's always many people that outweigh the people that hate you that love it.
Yeah.
So I think if you find those people that love it and you kind of cater to them more than the people that hate it, because no matter what, everyone's going to hate something you did. There's never going to be 100% satisfactory when it comes to a car. Like you could have you could have spent $2-3 million on a car. You could put real wheels on it. You could put really expensive tires, but someone could still be like, oh, well, I don't like the tread in those tires, or, why did you choose a red air filter instead of a blue one? Like, there's always going to be someone to nitpick, and, that negativity, it's still going to be around, but we don't really need it. But, I mean, not to take it away from you, but, I think you're doing great with all your car. Like, all your cars look great, and obviously you're going to get hate, but I loved the white, and then you did your first wide body kit that you said you did. It was the Battle Arrow one, right? That was your
Correct.
first one?
Yeah, my first wide body was the Battle Arrow kit, and it was fitted for a Ford Focus ST, so it had the slight imperfection on the front bumper. It didn't ever sit right, but did what anyone did, threw some filler in there and made it fit. But
yeah,
that's when people started, oh, this is a Ford Focus ST, right? That's when that all started.
Yeah, with the SE front bumper.
Yeah, with the SE front bumper, yes. And people still thought it was ST.
I know when I first met you, I thought it was an ST, and Connor was the one that told me that it wasn't. And then I
knew you for years before Connor came along.
Exactly.
Too. Yep.
And I was like always looking at your contact, and I'm like, what,
you
dude?
had a ST.
I know. I had an ST, and I was like, you know what? I love my ST. I want to build it out. But I was building more of a rally car while you were building a stance car. Yep. And I was like, I really got to get back into this ST game. I got to catch up with Alex and Connor, and and then Connor came around. And I was like, man, now I kind of want to build a stance car because you guys are, killing it. And then I found out from Connor that you didn't even have an ST. You had a titanium. It was originally an SE. And I thought you did, because a lot of Mazda 3 owners will put a Mazda Speed front bumper on their Mazda 3. So I thought you were doing that as like a joke or whatever. But then I think I actually saw the car in person, and it was automatic. And I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
It's actually a titanium. And it was popping and shooting flames or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, people had that. I mean, the car has a pop. It's not even a pop tune. It's tuned. It's catless headers and it had a Borla catback off of ST. And everyone's like, oh, it's center exit. It's popping a bunch. Focus ST.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that was and then you wrapped it blue, right? You did that.
Yes, I did.
That Avery blue.
The Avery Dennison gloss light blue, which that's when, Focus RS. That's when that started.
Yeah, I remember those comments. Yeah, because everyone thought it was nitrous blue, right?
Yep. Everyone thought it was a Focus RS. I mean, it had the entire stock bumpers, side skirts, rear bumper, everything as a stock Ford Focus would. The stock base model Focus headlights, which are the cleared chrome ones that turned into a trend nowadays. Everyone wants those.
Yeah,
I don't see it, but
I liked my ST because I had an ST3 and I liked those headlights.
Yep.
They had the extra bulb that when you were turning illuminated.
Yep. And
I really liked that, and I thought that was what was sought out for. Now everyone wants the base model.
The base model clears. I mean, I personally, I like clears. I'm not a fan of the cleared chromes, which everyone's all about. But
well, that's the Miata community. Everyone wants clear chrome taillights for the Miata community. So don't join the Miata community too soon.
I don't think I'll fit in one. So.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because you also have the Z, and that's pretty tight.
Yes,
right?
my head hits the soft top, and when I wear my hair up, it does not stay up in the Z. So,
man. Yeah, when I saw you got that thing, I was like, wow. But so you had for your V2, it was the baby blue, the Battle Arrow wide body, and then you had the same wheels. You just spray painted them white instead of black.
Actually, I bought a set of Option Lab wheels off of my buddy, who was in Team Elevate at the time with his Focus ST. I bought these wheels off of him. Loved. But they were his old wheels. He ended up getting my Enki NT03s, like the basic Ford Focus wheels.
As Juju would call them, Dentio3s.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, this is a step in the right direction. I knew I wanted get to the point of be on Team Elevate. So I'm gonna buy his wheels. And they were black Option Labs. They were like 18 by like 9.5, coming from my stock wheels and the wheels I bought. I was like, bro, these are like twice as wide. So I bought these wheels. About a month goes by. I was like, I don't like black wheels. I mean, they're good looking wheels. I don't like them. I was like, oh, I'll just spray to paint them white.
Yeah, white's just so
I
much
was
better.
like, and then I was like, no. I was like, these wheels would not look. This is actually how I met Connor. Connor came all the way up from Champaign, and I remember I was selling my stock seats back to this chick who I bought ST2 Recaros off of.
I remember when you bought those.
Over by like Indianapolis. I drove out there with my mom's car, picked up those seats. A few months go by. Hey, I'm selling my car. I want to keep my aftermarket seats. Do you have your stock seats you'd sell me? I sold her my stock seats. I mean, they were heated, AC, and fully automatic seats. They were nicer seats than the Recaros, but I wanted the Recaros.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you selling? I'm like, oh, these are low-key nicer seats. I don't want to sell them. She's like, name a price. I'll pick them up today. I paid $400 for the Recaros. I told her $1,000 for the base model seats. She was like, all right, I'll be there today.
What?
So then I see Connor is selling a set of ESR CS15s. They're white with the chrome lip. So I don't really know Connor too well. I text him, hey, I'm about to come up on like $1,000. You do $1,000. He's like, yeah. I was like, only problem, you'll have to drive up here because I have to wait for this chick coming from Indianapolis. All right, yeah, I'll head out there. So this whole day, I'm like, this is perfect. I was like, this chick's going to buy these seats. I'm going to buy these wheels. I have wheels I like. So I remember there was a car meet down the street. So I had my seats taken out, or I had the seats in the garage, and I had my old wheels taken off of my car already. Car was on jack stands. And I went to a car meet with my buddy down the street. So the lady's like, I'm almost there. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, Connor, how far are you? 45 minutes. I'm like, all right. So I get there. The lady sells or buys the seats. I buy Connor's wheels. And that was actually my favorite stage of the car was
the blue wide body with
the blue Bandolero wide body with the white ESRs.
It was a good looking car. And it was like, to me, that was when your car went from, the high schooler car,
just a like modified car. Oh, cool. It's modified
to where you started to stand out. Cause Alex kept that black wrap that he had where, everything's going to be better. The hearts, he kept that on and then wrapped over it. So you still saw that underneath the blue. And I really like that.
That was a piece that I did not want to take away from the car. And the whole reason I wrapped it instead of keeping the stock paint was my buddy was like, you buy the material, I'll wrap it for you for free. And I was like, all right, that's about the same price it would cost to just paint the wide body.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll just do that. And then I was like, I'm not taking this off my car though. But I knew it. I loved it, but it took away looks from the car wise. It wasn't.
Yeah, you really have to see it in person in order to appreciate it.
In pictures, it just looked like you threw a bunch of stickers all over it. So I wrapped over it. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, people can still kind of see it, and it's there for me.
Yeah,
it was more for me at that point that I wanted it. That was a piece of my car.
Now, is it still on the car?
Unfortunately, it made it through 4 different wraps.
It went all the way up to the red?
All the way up until after the red. And
is it still on the purple?
It is not.
No.
So I just recently took it off. I was actually not happy about taking it off, but I'm not going to say I am, but I think I have something else in mind now, kind of similar.
Well, I know we're all excited. I know we're kind of getting ahead because we just skipped over like 3 different versions. But I know he changes his wrap like every 6 months.
Yep.
And a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you keep that one? I really like that one. The red didn't even stay for that long.
The red actually went through 3 different phases. So the red started off as just wrapped it red with I got the Bandolero wide body done in carbon fiber by my buddy, real carbon fiber. So it was red with the carbon fiber wide body flares.
Yeah, you're right.
And then like halfway through that, I was like, I'm gonna add a livery on top of it. So it was red with black and gray like stripes, really abstract.
I remember when you did that because like I was like, bro, did you really just copy basically my livery, but instead of purple, red?
Yep.
That's kind of what I saw, and then everyone was like sending me pictures like, yo, you and Alex got the same livery.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, I know.
and that only lasted about a month.
Yeah, I didn't last long at all.
Yeah, it lasted like a month or two, and then I decided to get the Fortunato wide body kit. So with that was the big wide body, the bumper. I mean, I knew I was going to end up having to redo a lot of it. I was like, I'll just wrap it red again. So all I really did, I redid the bumpers, the side skirts, and the wide body. I mean, I kept like the doors and the quarter panel was the only thing I really didn't touch. So I did that, and I kept it red. And I was like, I like the red. I mean, I might keep the red. Now, I'm colorblind, so I could see the red. I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it. I was like, the blue was my favorite, and I wrapped it Nardo gray, and I did not like that at
Wasn't
all.
Nardo gray before the red?
Yes.
So we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. But so, all right. So back to the blue. That was like your first kind of iteration after, the white, after having the stock color, having that livery. You had the white with the battle arrow, and the battle arrow was wrapped blue as well.
Yes.
And then you had your real wheels, and you went through a couple wheels. Then you changed it to Nardo gray.
Yes.
And that's when you started adding carbon fiber everywhere.
Yes. Well, I had it wrapped blue. I ended up getting rid of those ESRs that Connor sold me. I bought a set of work Euro lines off Connor.
I remember that.
So
I remember that Connor always got new wheels from his Stance boys, and then you'd buy them off him because he wanted a new set of wheels. And Connor's actually selling his set of wheels that I went to go pick up in Ohio with him. He's now trying to sell those to get something else.
Yep.
When it comes to wheels, you and Alex have had so many different wheels. I'm still on the wheels that I've had for 2 years now. And they work great. I'm just waiting on my wheels to actually, get here because I only like one kind of style, but that's of course preference. And I get hate on because, of course my wheels are reps, but the wheels that I want, I can't have yet.
Well, so. I think the best part about that was after I was on those work wheels, when I wrapped the car gray and sent the wide body out to get done in carbon, I went from these work wheels and then I turned around and bought some Kansei KMPs.
I remember those.
People like, you're on reps. I was like, I got to sell work wheels in my garage. I like how these look. So what do you want to say to me?
Kansei's look good. I don't even think they're a rep brand, are they?
Kansei's they're reps, but I mean they
reps of what? Rotiform?
OEM wheels.
That makes sense.
I
love Kansei's.
They're reps of OEM wheels, but they come in sizes that obviously those
OEM
wheels didn't come in. So I was like, these look tight. I like these. I mean, my dream wheels are Regamasters at the time was Regamasters. I wanted to sell Regamasters. And I didn't know that they came in 18s because up until they like restyled them, they only came in 17s.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just get these Kanseis, like 18s. They're wide enough. They fit perfect with the wide body.
And they looked great on the Nardo gray. And then you started adding the carbon fiber and it looked even better.
Yep.
And the one thing I didn't know if I liked or I hated, but no matter what it was, it just looked really good. But your center caps, because I know Kanseis come with two different center caps. Yep. They come with color matched center caps, or they come with red classic center caps. And you were rocking the red ones, and they didn't look bad, but you had nothing else red on the car.
Yep.
So, like in my mind, I was like, okay, that really doesn't go, but it still looks really good.
The thing that saved me a lot with that was it was gray wheels on a Nardo gray car. They were like gunmetal gray wheels on a Nardo gray car with everything else was carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It was the entire thing was grayscale. So nothing else matched the red, but nothing else was any other color.
That's also, it was that flash of color. It was a small flash of color, but it's still kind of,
and what I originally want to do is like the nitrous blue. I want everything Nardo gray with accents of nitrous blue.
Yeah.
And there's a guy on Instagram, Torque RS, who Nardo gray with everything nitrous blue. and I saw his car, I was like, oh man, I wanted to do that, but after seeing it, I really want to do that.
So after the Nardo Gray, you had all the carbon fiber, you had the Nardo Gray, you had the red center caps. So you chose red, and you still had all the carbon fiber, and it was still the same build as the Nardo Gray. You just changed the wrap.
Yep.
And I know we already went over this. We already went over your 3 iterations. You did the, what you had before as red, and then you had the livery that you did, and then after that you got the new RS bumper, you got the Fortunato body kit, and you just kind of did a whole new setup, but as the red that you previously had.
Yep. Switched the wheels. I got the Battle Arrow huge hatch mount wings, so it was a completely different car that stayed the same color versus when it was gray to red the first time. It was the exact same car, just different color.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a nice switch up, kind of seeing your car change without having to change the color for once. So I thought that was cool. But after I did that, it was the red. I was giving up on the Focus. I mean, it was my daily driver. I daily drive every day. My work parking lot's gravel. Joliet roads are garbage if you've ever driven on them.
Been out there a couple of times.
Yeah, so I mean, I just beat up the car. I didn't care too much. I was focused on the 300ZX. I was like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm going to make it look nice. This is what I'm putting all my money into.
Yeah.
I'm not putting money in the Focus. Now I was like, I'm just switch the Focus completely. Woke up one morning after telling all my friends, I'm not doing anything else to the Focus. Woke up one morning, I think I spent like 8 G's or 8 G's in a week. Changed everything.
But before we finish up talking about, your Focus, I want to talk. I asked on my Instagram if you guys wanted to ask questions for Alex. So we're going to go through those questions. There's not a lot, and most of them were questions towards me. So I don't know if you guys understood what the questions were going to be about. But I asked you guys to ask questions for Alex, not for me. But, most of the questions are about me and Madeline. But I can answer those if you guys want, but I'd rather this podcast is more about Alex. So if my phone will load, it's going to show me there we go. All right. What is your favorite car that you've owned so far? I know you've owned many cars. Alex, only four. But I've owned more cars than you. I mean, I've owned more cars than really anyone should in their lifetime.
I've only owned 4 cars, and
really,
I've had the Focus as my first car and still have it. So, yeah, I've only owned 4 cars. I mean, I can honestly say that 2 of them I put a lot more time and effort into than the other 2.
I already know which 2 those are.
But at the same time, those same work wheels that I bought from Connor, had them listed up on Marketplace. I got a text one day. Hey, bro, I really want your wheels. I can't afford them.
Is this the E36?
This is Marketplace. This is on Marketplace. So when you get one of those, you're like, hey, who's this guy? I mean,
yeah.
So I ignore it, and I didn't read the second half of it. Would you take a trade for my running and driving E46? And I was like, yeah, not a chance. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, this just sit in my garage. Like, I mean, it would be cool. Like, send me some pictures and info. Like, worst I could do is say no. So this guy sends me some pictures. No springs. Took the spring, not cut springs, no springs. Dumped down its nuts.
So it's just on shocks?
Piss. Oh yeah, beat to absolute piss. Thing sat on the ground, and then I looked. It was a '99, and it was a sedan, so the touring.
Yeah,
and it was manual. And I was like, that's. I mean, they're pretty rare in the sedans to be manual. And I was like, so yeah. How many miles are? Oh, 275K. I was like, yeah, dude, you kick rocks, dude. I was like, you're going to dump this on me, so I sit in my driveway, be whatever. So then he was like, yeah, but I mean, the motor has 60K on it. The trans has 45K on it. I have all the paperwork. I was like, so I'm pretty much, running and driving piss mess. So of course it's going to be unreliable, but like at least it will last me a day. I'll be able to drive it home. So I was like, all right. So I had the wheels in my car, and I was at my buddy Colton's house. I was like, "Hey, I need you to come with me, drive the car home." It's during a blizzard, so
Was
I'm
this
like,
that blizzard that was
the
at the beginning of 2022,
yes,
right
the
after New
big
Year's?
blizzard right after New Year's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was driving my Subaru during that time
Oh, it was
and
terrible. So
having a blast.
I'm leaving Colton's neighborhood, and my front lip broke in the snow, leaving his in the Focus, leaving his
Oh my
neighborhood.
gosh.
My rear bumper got snow in it, flew off in the middle of a busy road on the way there. And we finally get there. I'm like, all right, let's trade. Or he was like, all right, let's trade. Like, wheels are solid, whatever. I'm like, your tires are flat. He was like, I'll fill up the tires for you. He's like, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. And I test drove the car the night before. So I was with my other friends. They were like, this is so sketchy. This dude's waiting on the side of the street for you to test drive this piece of shit car that he's pretty much just giving you for a set of wheels. They didn't understand it. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I want to know what this guy was putting these wheels on.
Honda Civic.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I was like, all right. But he was like, all right, you want to do the trade? And I saw there was a Pizza Hut or a Domino's. There was a Domino's delivery sign in the garage. I said, I'll do the trade if the Domino's sign comes with it. He was like, what are you talking about, bro? I was like, that little Domino's pizza delivery sign. He was like, all right. So I traded a set of wheels for a Domino's sign that happened to come with the car. And that was my favorite experience. I mean, I loved that car. It's so not me. I mean, it was so static, which is me, but at the same time, I was like, I have really bad issues with like just cars that don't look good.
Yeah.
And that car did not look good.
Yeah, it was definitely a lemon looking car.
Oh,
but
it
I
was
remember
so bad.
I remember seeing all of your story was just the domino sign.
Oh, bro.
That was the funniest. I was like, I think I texted you. I was like,
loved it.
Are you working at Domino's? And you were like, no, I just got it.
Yeah, I'm like, I was so
okay.
happy. I was like, but this car, I realized, I was like, it's a rear-wheel drive manual car that I could beat the crap out of, have fun with.
Absolutely.
And not have to worry about keeping it looking pretty.
Yeah, no,
and
that's the best kind of cars.
I already had the Focus and the Z at this point, and I'm making those cars look pretty. I thought that was me. And I got this car. I'm like, I beat it up. It's blah, blah. So I beat this car up.
I mean, but so right now you have the Focus and the Z, and those are both two show cars. And, your Focus is your daily show car, but the Z seems like it's coming up to be that's going to be your show car and everything.
Yes.
But one really should not have too many show cars, because if you're bringing a lot of cars to shows, you're just really like trying to saturate your entire thing or whatever. But I think your next build should be something for like a track related thing. Like go out, like, build another BMW or keep this one and kind of make it like, a drift car and go out to do that. Because I mean, Madeline, my car, it goes to shows. It mostly goes to shows more than track days, but it's supposed to be a track car. And it's gone to more shows than track events, but I'm trying to get it to more track events. And I'm trying to buy my next build to be just a show car so that I can, focus on this to just be, that.
The only problem with that is I like weird cars.
Trust me, I know you like weird cars.
I love weird cars so much. And to get a weird car that also has enough like performance support
to be a drift car,
support, be a drift car, it's very hard. But I'm a Nissan fanboy. That's my thing.
As Nissan's the best.
My next car I want is either a S13 Vert, which I want a Vert. I want a S13.
You
Vert.
have the Z as the Vert.
I know. I want an S13 Vert. Well, okay. I want a S13, a R32, and Z32. I want that whole generation. I want the trio.
Okay.
But
I'm more of an S14 kind of boy.
I want the S13 Vert. All right. I also want R32 sedan. I want to chop the roof off of it.
Oh my gosh!
I'll take a coupe,
dude. That's what Ryan and Tyler and Kenny were talking about at Tuner Galleria this year. They were talking about turning one of their Skylines into a Vert. Like apparently, there's a company that does that. Yep. You probably already know that because.
Yep, that's I want.
Honestly, if you made that trio a thing, I think you could go really far with it.
That's,
but you got to find.
I want the show one. I want the drift one. I want the track one.
Okay. I'm guessing
With
the
the
S13
trio.
would be a drift one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The R32. I mean, I'll do whatever I have to do with it, but I want one of each.
But I mean, if you get the R32 GTS 4, that's
or GTS-T.
Is that the all-wheel drive one?
That's the GTR. It's the all-wheel drive one.
I thought that because the GTS 4 is also all-wheel drive because they have the GTR, which is an all-wheel drive
and
RB.
Then the GTS 4 is
the non-turbo one.
Yep.
4-wheel drive. So I mean, if you did that show, drift, and track, these are already your show car. Then you have the S13 Vert as your drift car, and then if you did that all-wheel drive one, an all-wheel drive track car, they grip hard. So I mean, that would be a perfect trio.
Yep.
And I know all of us would love to see that. Especially me.
That's my goal, but I also one car, if I ever come across it, I want an S15 Varietta.
Those are cool. I love me some Nissans. I'm trying to get it. My next build, for most people that don't know, is I'm trying to get an S14. That's like my next car. Really want an S14. I love those cars. My buddy Colin has so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, spare me one. He's got if anyone doesn't know Colin's a Pro-Am driver. He's really cool. He has 3 of them. He has a regular Kooky. He's got a Boss 14 front end, and then he's got an S15 front end. And they all do different things. 2 of them drift, 1 of them dailies. He's got so many, and I want one. Not one of his.
I wouldn't be mad with the S14 though.
S14s are nice.
You can't be mad with S14.
But I'm trying to import one because what's crazy is it's cheaper to import a Sylvia S14 than it is to buy one that's in the States.
Yep.
Because everyone wants one. The prices are like $30,000.
Oh yeah.
And you can import one for $15,000.
Well, I don't know if you remember. Like I said, my dad's not into cars at all. I don't come from a car family.
Yeah.
When my dad came to a car show with me, met Sam the first time at his booth. Hey, this guy has a S30 or a 240SX shirt. I was like, oh yeah, this is my buddy Sam. He does merch. He's like, I used to have a 240SX coupe or hatch. I forgot what he said. I was like, seriously?
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, I used to have one. I'm like, all right. He's like, do you guys like these cars?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I like.
Dude, I love your dad.
He's like, oh, you should get one. He's like, we should get one. I was like, look at these prices. He's like, oh, I should have kept that car.
Yeah, man. No, dude. Whenever my parents talk about the old cars that they had, I'm like, you guys should have kept those. And Mom was like, we didn't know it was gonna be this good.
Oh yeah.
Or we didn't know it was gonna be this expensive. Like old cars, man, they're so expensive now.
Yeah,
even Miatas are going up.
Not Ford
in price.
Focuses though.
Not Ford Focuses.
Not Ford Focuses.
I mean, those are not too old. Those when did those start? 2013. Those got a little time until those are going down in value.
The RS I see as a future collector car. My car I see worth. I'll pay you $500 to take it off my hands. But I don't want to get rid of that car. So.
No, you're too known for that. You have to change your Instagram name if you did. I mean, granted,
I still probably should change my Instagram name. Stock Focus.
Everyone wants me to change mine to like that slow Miata, and I'm like, I kind of like mine.
I like that slow.
My name's kind of rooted into it. Some dude thought my name was
Del. That's what we were talking about a few weeks ago.
I was like, no, it's Sam. it's like, what do you think? What would Del be short for?
Del's a name.
Delavon?
Del is a name by itself, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like short for something. Delion or
Delvin.
Yeah. My name's Delvin. Should go by Del. I'm a little stupid, so I'm Del slow. But that's really the only question for you.
I mean,
what's your favorite car? All right, so I'll answer a couple questions that were about me, and then we'll get back to Alex's. The end of Alex's.
Well, the BMW was my favorite car for how long it lasted, which was a month of me enjoying it every single day. The Volvo, I didn't really enjoy it the whole time until I blew up the trans, and I just gave up on it. The Z is my favorite car. The way I got it, from completely stock,
Yeah.
40,000 mile, 300ZX 93.
Yeah, you
Perfect. Loved it.
the before and after on that car is
But the Focus, it would be my favorite if I didn't hate it so much.
it's most of the time everyone hates their first build. I mean, granted, I hate the way that the Del Sol went out.
I hate him. I hated my first build. That's why I redid it. I hated my first 6 variations of it. So yeah,
Dude, sometimes I wish I still had the Del Sol so I could do right by it, because the way that I built that car was a very high school build.
yes.
Like, as we all did, we all had those high school builds that
And
people
other
called
high
us
schoolers you were friends with thought it was cool.
Exactly.
So it was perfect.
Exactly. And now we have grown up. I don't. Everyone tells me to get a real car. Like, what's a real car? Like, my Miatas are not a real car. I mean,
Look,
it gets me places.
The 300ZX and the Focus are both automatic, so I still hear that every day.
Dude, see, I don't understand people. They always gotta hate.
Real cars. Real cars.
I mean, if my car makes me happy, just because it doesn't go that fast. I mean, my car's faster than most Miatas. I mean, because I'm built, and most Miatas aren't.
And I think my Focus is faster than most base model Focuses and
I'd agree.
Cruises and stuff.
Go race some random girl named Kelly and her, Focus.
And I'll go frame banging, shooting sparks and flames behind me as I gap her. I think that's cooler.
Absolutely. But so a couple questions that people were asking for me is, what was the hardest thing to do on Madeline? And that was by Kitty Cat Kilzer. The hardest thing for me to do on Madeline would probably be my test pipe. My exhaust is completely welded by me. It was my first time welding, and I needed it done because everyone hated my car. My car was open headers for a year, and everyone hated it. Everyone hated, dude, you need to shut this car up. My parents were like, dude,
oh yeah, neighbors,
quiet this car. Everyone. Neighbors were yelling, calling the cops. So I was like, okay. So I went to my grandpa's house, who owns 15 Miatas, and we cut up an exhaust. I welded the flanges together, and it was off. It was wrong. So I ended up just bolting it up, and it rattled so much. It was so bad that I ended up like trying to trade for a Borla exhaust just to see if that would change it. So I traded for a Borla exhaust, and then that destroyed my drive shaft. It grinded a ring into my drive shaft because it was off alignment. Yep. So I ended up taking that off. It was open headers again until I found another exhaust off Facebook. Put that on. Perfect fitment. Car sounds amazing. Doesn't rattle. And I don't know how. But everyone says I have the nicest sounding Miata. I agree. But just know that it was a pain in the ass getting it to where it is right now.
It's so funny you say that your test pipe was the hardest, because on the Focus, the hardest thing, the thing I ran into the most issues with was my headers, which is
it's always exhaust, dude.
Well, I mean, I've done exhaust work so many times for my car. My buddy's cars never had issues, but on my car, the headers, I didn't realize I had to take apart like the all the support braces on the bottom. I had to take off everything on the front. I had to take the motor mounts off, pull the motor out. I'm standing on top of my motor in the garage, and I tied a rope to the headers. And I'm using one foot like up by my windshield. I'm pushing my other leg back on the motor. And I'm pulling. Pulled it out, got it out, and I like let go of the rope. Header straight through the windshield.
Oh my gosh!
And I remember it was like a 2-day process. And those 2 days, I don't think I left the house once, just felt defeated. But everyone's like, oh, let me come give you a shot. So about every hour for 2 days straight, a group of like 4 or 5 buddies came by. Oh, let me take a look at it. There's probably 100 people in and out of my garage.
Oh my god!
And everyone's like, yeah, dude, he's like, you're just going to have to do something about it. You aren't getting that out. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then dropping the new one in, easy. But taking out the stock headers of the Focus was the most issues I've ever ran into. Partially on me, partially on just like, why do you have to take everything apart?
Yeah, on those newer cars, it sucks. Like, you have to take off so much stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's annoying. With my headers, it was really easy. The only issue was everything past the headers.
Oh, and then the O2 sensor, I couldn't get it off, so I just snipped it. So then the new one, I snipped the other end, and then I'm like laying down on top of my motor, head in this little hole, and I'm trying to splice the wires back together for the O2 sensor.
Oh my gosh.
It was a lot. So exhaust work, it's always harder on your own car.
It is very hard. So this next question, I'm going to answer it, and then I'll ask you kind of my version of this question.
Yep.
So this guy asked Tyler McGraw 14 or McGaw, I don't know. Tyler McGaw 14 asks plans for Madeline motor-wise. So Madeline is forged internals right now. She got built. She has a remachined head when she got the forged internals. And then I ended up putting a 1.6 high compression head on her. So right now she's making about 215 horsepower, which isn't a lot, but for a Miata, that's a lot.
Yep.
And as of right now, I have a full turbo kit ready to go on. I'm just waiting on a Mega Squirt ECU. Waiting on the funds, waiting on, some possible, sponsorships. I'm also waiting to find someone cheaper than they sell online. So I'm waiting on a lot of things, just the ECU really, but I have a whole intercooler set up. It's all powder coated. It's got my name on it. I got my turbo kit. It's all powder coated purple.
See, you're different from me because I would have just put it on my car without it being functional until I was able to get it functional.
It's what I wanted
just to
do,
make it look pretty.
But I really wanted to make sure I had all the components so that everything could go on. My tuner could send me the base map. I could drive it over to him and get it all set up. But that's kind of the plan is, right now I'm only making 215, but my tuner wants me at 420. But I told him I'm going to shoot for 385 because my buddy Caleb right now holds the record for the Flying Miata turbo kit. He's at 388, and that's the record for that turbo. So I don't have that turbo kit. I have a slightly bigger one. I have the Flying Miata, but he has I forget what it is. It's the Garrett. But it's the 58. It's not the 62. No, 60. So I have the 60. He has the 58. So that's why my tuner wants me to go a little bit higher than him. But I told him I will be happy with 385.
That would be nuts.
Oh, I know. On this little car, absolutely. But that's my plan motor-wise. So to kind of go off that question, I know you have your exhaust set up. I know you're tuned. Do you have any motor plans for the Focus? Or is it just kind of, I'm keeping it stock. I'm keeping it full bolt-on.
For the
on?
Focus, it is full bolt-on NA still. I mean, believe it or not, the car's under warranty. I get my trans replaced when the trans goes out. Common Ford Focus things, I get the trans replaced. As soon as they stop honoring that warranty, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a full ST swap.
Okay. But so with an ST swap, would you do the stock KO3 turbo, or would you do a KO4, or would you do a full,
whatever ST drivetrain I could pick up for the cheapest.
So your car right now, you have, so we're going back a while, probably 20, 30 minutes ago. But you got rid of the red.
Yep.
You have the RS bumper. You have the Fortunato wide body. And he has gone from bagged to static to bagged to back to static. And you want to go bagged again, don't you?
So I went to Lowering Springs, static, bagged it, went back to static. I bagged the Z. I'm a static guy, but part of me wants to bag the Focus again. Part of me says it's a waste of money for the second time.
Yeah.
So I'm unsure about that. I mean, I don't know. I like static a lot better, but at the same time, it would be so more convenient. But I mean, for right now in the Focus, it's kind of just fixing some stuff.
Yeah.
The last few weeks, snapped axle, snapped motor mount, all my belts got shredded up. Just found out I have a crack in my valve cover.
Yeah, that's why so just so you don't think that I'm in love with my car, which I am, but Alex's car was supposed to be behind us, but his valve cover broke literally yesterday, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I'm hoping 2 days ago, not the last week.
Yeah. So that's why my car is behind us, not his. In the next episodes that come up, we will have the guests car behind me. But That's why. And the Z's still getting wrapped.
The Z is so close to being done with the wrap.
Absolutely. I mean, as all of us, really, I don't think anyone in the car community has had a stopping point. Like everyone wants to further their car, change it up from last season.
Yep.
I know a lot of people who build their car and, they say that they're happy with it, but then next season, they come out with something even crazier. Like they'll change up the wrap, they'll change up the interior. I know that I tried to kind of change up. It's, it's definitely different than last season, but it definitely changed the season before. And, I think, with the car community, what's nice is every year is a different year.
Yep.
Everyone changes up their cars. Yes, you'll see a lot of the same builds at car meets, at car shows, but sometimes some things will be a little bit different. Like every season is a new season, and winter is that time. Dude, that's what's great about living in the Midwest. That winter
we have off season.
We have an off season.
Some of us. One of my biggest pet peeves is
car meets in winter.
Car meets in winter.
That is.
And they're like, oh, it's December 20th. I haven't snowed yet. Let's keep throwing car meets. Oh, it's January. It's February. Oh, it's March even.
Yeah.
Oh, it's car meets 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. And that's Tuner Galleria a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Well,
Man,
so I think.
How did you have enough time to do all this to your car? How is it so different? Oh, I wasn't going to car meets every weekend.
Yeah, I was done by October.
Time. I was like, that's why I started my car right after Tuner Evo, or I think Queen Culture Milwaukee.
Exactly.
I haven't taken my cars out since then.
So
and I'm still not done.
In the U.S., there's millions of car shows.
Oh yeah.
And so here in Chicago, the way that I see it, and a lot of my friends see it, is Tuner Galleria Chicago is the start of the season.
Yes.
That is our start, which is the first through third week of March. That's usually when it is.
Yep.
Sometimes it's in April. It really depends. And that's our start. Our end is Gatlinburg.
Yes.
Gatlinburg is the first weekend of October. That is our end. Sometimes we'll go to Halloween, and then Halloween will also, sort of be an end.
Halloween's kind of, if I feel like it, kind of thing.
But after Halloween, if you're still going to car things,
it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
It really is kind of weird. Like yesterday, there was that huge car meet
in Naperville, and it was snowing.
It's snowing. It
was snowing. Everyone was telling me, like, yo, you and Madeline going to be there? I'm like, hell no. Madeline is inside, got a car cover over her. Well, she's hibernating.
I was working on my car last night. I'm like,
absolutely.
No, so I'd rather sit in a warm garage working on my car than
that's
go to
what
a
I
car
said.
Meet and be cold and miserable.
My car went out for Tuner Galleria because it's an indoor show.
Yep.
And then I brought it back. But once I see consistent 60 degrees, then, we'll do that. But now that I'm moving to Texas, Tuner Galleria is now going to be my start and finish. Because a lot of people don't know, but Tuner Galleria only has 2 shows a year. A lot like Slammed Enough, Clean Culture. They have like 7 to 8 shows.
Oh, more than that.
More than that even. Yeah. They have probably 14, 2 every month even.
Yep.
But Tuner Galleria has 2. They start at Chicago, and at the end they end in Houston. So I'm going to try my best to come up here for Tuner Galleria Chicago.
Early or late winter, early spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, I'll be going to Tuner Galleria Houston. So all of my Houston or Texas followers, I'll be out there. Me and Madeline will. Obviously, I'm going to spend this season. I'm not going to be out a lot. This season is me moving. I move in June. And really, once I get out to Texas, I'm going to be putting her on jack stands, and I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm trying to get her, exactly where I want her. And that's how it's going to be. And then, I'll go to Tuner Gallery Houston. I'll keep working on the winter. But, Texas winters are very different than Chicago winters. So I might not have an off season anymore, which I don't know if I'm going to be thankful for that or if I'm going to be still conditioned as a Chicagoan. I think I might still have an off season.
Oh, yeah.
But
the way I see it is you kind of get to pick your off season, but the only thing that sucks about that is you'll probably miss more of stuff going on.
Exactly.
It's nice. You don't get to pick your off season in Chicago, but you really have nothing better to do. So at least you'll be able to pick when you want to tear down and rebuild.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm also looking for. But I'm also going to miss all the friends that I've, have built over here. And this podcast, obviously find more guests out there.
Travel with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we've gone on for a long time. But this podcast has been great. Got to learn about Alex. I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about Alex.
I've known Sam since before I even had a driver's license.
Yeah, we've known each other for so long. And I didn't know your friend who passed away. I think I might have. But I never really
knew the story.
Yeah. I'm not from Naperville. I've never really hung out in Plainfield.
I'm not from Naperville.
Well,
either.
Naperville, Plainfield, Joliet, it's all the same
I don't associate
me.
with the Napervillians too much.
But all that Will County, County.
I guess.
I'm from Cook County, so or DuPage County. What's Roselle in DuPage County? We're gonna say Cook County because it's close enough. But that whole group down there, I'm friends with a lot of you guys, but I never really hang out down there. So
it's not too much to do.
Yeah.
Everything's up here anyways.
Everything is up here. It's nice being coffee house.
Joliet's starting to bring the tracks back. So
yes. We went to Adam LZ's thing, and that was so much fun. I won't be able to attend this year.
You can
but
come out. You got a place to
no,
stay out here.
So May, I have Tuner Fest because I don't know if you guys know, but I host Tuner Fest with Stands Down Low.
The other Alex.
Another Alex. And that's kind of my last show because that is May 27th. So I get to do that show, and then 3 days later I'm on the road.
Yep.
And I'm gonna miss everyone, but I'm definitely gonna be coming back. So because I will miss you guys a lot. So Madeline probably won't be coming back.
That's understandable.
I'll probably just be flying back and hanging out.
You got a co-pilot when you come back. Take it out.
Absolutely.
Take the zero, the focus out.
I'll fly into Midway, and you pick me up, and I'll drive the Z to any meet you want me to.
Sweet.
But I think that's it for the WhyCars podcast. Thank you guys for joining in. Like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Check out Alex. Check out JC. Check out all of the friends that we mentioned. All the friends that we mentioned, I'll have in the description. Check out my Snapchat if you want to follow my day-to-day life. If you want to follow Alex's day-to-day life, he posts a lot on Snapchat as well.
Instagram.
Snapchat. You got a YouTube, right? You just don't post a lot on
that. No, I tried YouTube. It was hard to start in the winter. That's the thing.
It is very hard to start in winter.
I might try to get back into it, but Instagram mostly. I haven't posted on TikTok. I mean, TikTok's what I
as well
started a following on, but I haven't posted on TikTok in months. So.
Well, just follow Alex on Instagram, and when he decides to be on YouTube, you'll get to see that. But we're gonna end it here. Alex,
you have a giveaway you need to announce or something, right?
No, I don't have to announce it, but if people follow my Snapchat, I'm giving away my UNOS right now. It's $30 an entry at 500 spots. More than welcome to buy as many spots as you want. I'm going to be announcing it May 1st. That is going to be the announcement, or if all spots fill up. So if you're interested, please join it because I think we're only halfway to 500 at this point in time. It's been up for a little bit. I mostly posted on Snapchat, but I'm actually coming out with a full video on it. Hopefully it'll be out before this, but if not, it's coming soon. So thanks again for watching. I hope you learned a lot about me, a lot about Alex, in this hour and a half long podcast. But it's been great.
I had fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here. I know it was hard getting here. But yeah, we will see you in the next episode. I don't know who's going to be my guest, but follow me on Snapchat and Instagram and you'll know. But thanks, guys. Take care.